Jagrative. There are so many different directions, vectors upon which you can deal with spirituality, deal with life. You just come in from different angles. There's always something to learn. One that is very fruitful and very simple is to separate your inner world from your outer world. People don't know how to do it, but you can learn to do it. And it is the most important thing you will ever learn. To start with, your inner environment and your outer environment are very different things. We've discussed it, and I'm not going to talk about it the same way I normally do. There is a world outside. It's different than inside. You need your senses to sense it. It's outside of you. It's made of atoms. The world inside of you is not made of atoms. It's inner space. I don't know what to call it. There's outer space and there's inner space, right? We would just call it inner space. I don't care about researching it. Other people are doing that. I like that. I just know that it's not made of atoms, and it's not the same as the bricks and mortar out there. Yet there's a whole world in here. You got one in there too? There's thoughts and feelings and energy flows, and there's all kinds of stuff goes on in here. My dreams, they're not made of bricks and mortar. They're about bricks and mortar, but they're not made of bricks and mortar. So you don't need to be a genius to realize these are very different worlds. Your outer world and your inner world. The one similarity they have is you. You experience both of them. If you look out through your eyes, you see what's out there. If you look inside, you see your thoughts. These are worlds in which your consciousness lives, and they are different, very different. So what's the interaction between them? What's going on? Let's do it a really different way. What's the proper relationship between you, your inner world, and the outer world? Because I want to talk psychology. I want to talk inner world, you got to talk psychology. I want to talk about what does it mean to be psychologically healthy. What would it mean to be psychologically healthy? What it means to be healthy in there is it's pleasant. It's nice to live in there. It's comfortable. You're enjoying yourself. It's healthy, right? If I tell you to eat healthy food, I don't know if it's healthy. It makes you feel good. It doesn't make you keel over and pass out with a stomach ache. You know, it's pretty obvious what healthy food is. It's the same thing with your psyche. Is it healthy in there? You know it's not healthy in there. It's scary in there. It's sensitive in there. You're afraid. You wake up in the morning, you're afraid. You meet people, you're afraid. Who's willing to admit how afraid they are? I'm not talking afraid, freaky, you can't do stuff. I'm saying afraid. Your boss calls you and you're afraid. You pull up to the pump. Maybe you didn't pull up close enough. Somebody behind you. I don't know. Every single thing. It gets scared in there, doesn't it? This is not healthy. This is not what it means to be healthy. So you start with what does it mean to be psychologically healthy? It means that you get to live in there and that it is pleasant to live in there. When you go to meet somebody, your psyche's excited about it. It's enthused to meet somebody new. Oh, this is going to be exciting. I wonder what they'll be like. Oh, I can't wait to meet somebody new. Like a vacation you're going on. If you're going to go someplace, it's excited about get to see what's there, not what could go wrong, or what if the plane doesn't show up, or what if I lose my baggage. No, it's not doing that. That's a sick psyche doing that. That's not a nice thing for the psyche to do. You don't know what's going to happen when you meet this person. You don't know what's going to happen when you go on your vacation. You don't know what's going to happen with a new job. Therefore, you might as well enjoy it because you don't know. But when you don't know, you get scared. When you don't know, it becomes a freaky experience. That is because your inside is not healthy. So our starting position with dealing with these different worlds you live in is it can be nice in there. It can, period. And what about the outside? I can only talk from my experience. I'm just one person. My experience is that the outside world is very big. It's very big. I'm not in charge of what you think. I'm not in charge of who you marry. I mean, there are so many things I'm not in charge of. It's not even funny. I'm not in charge of what the weather's going to be. I'm not in charge of whether you get sick. I'm not in charge of whether the car's going to start. I ain't in charge of squat, pretty much. That's what I've caught on to. The world is a big, big, big place, and there are lots of factors causing everything to be the way they are. Fair enough? How many factors cause things to be the way they are? Billions of them. Billions of them at every moment cause everything to be the way it is. So, for me, you look at the outside world, and it's different than the inside world. The outside world, I've gotten to the point where the outside world is the way it is. Doesn't mean I'm not going to deal with it. Doesn't mean I can't work with it. But my starting position is, it's big. And it's the way it is. And there's going to be tidal waves when there's tidal waves. And there's going to be volcanoes when there are volcanoes. There's going to be sunny days when there's sunny days. There's going to be really, really hot days when there's really, really hot days. And some people are going to like me and some people are really, really, really not going to like me. It's just the way it is there. That's a proper understanding of the outside world, is it's doing its thing. And I need to live in there. And we're going to talk about how to do this as you work with the different worlds. So I need to live in this outside world because I'm here. I have an outside body and I live in the outside world. But much more interesting to me is that the inside world can be very, very nice. What I like about the inside world is that it's 100% under my control. And you think, no, it's not under my control at all. There's nobody else controlling it. Whereas out here, there's billions of forces that are causing things to be the way they are that you have no control over. You're the only one in there. That's your inner world. His inner world's totally different. Don't worry. Her inner world, believe me, totally different. Everything is different in there. And so you get to the point where you realize you can fix this. You can fix this. I don't care what's going on in there. I don't care what has gone in there. You can make it so nice in there. You can make it sunny, beautiful, anything you want because it's yours. You can't decorate everybody else's house, but you can decorate yours. That's your house. All right? It's just that nobody has talked to you like this. Nobody has taught you how to do this. Nobody has woke you up and shook you and just said, hello, you in there? You in there? What's it like in there? Do something about it. Now, there you go. We're starting to get this relationship and discussion about living in the inner world, living in the outer world. By default, if you don't do anything about it, what is going to happen is that your inner world is going to be affected very strongly by the outer world. Somebody's going to walk by and not say hello to you who you think was somebody you thought they were. It turns out you were wrong. But anyways, you thought it was a friend of yours that you haven't seen for a while. And they walked by and you thought they saw you and you thought they were your friend and they didn't say hello. So for the next 3 hours, your inner world's a mess. The outer world is not there anymore. The person walked by you. Like I said, it turns out it wasn't your friend. It wasn't even the person. They didn't recognize you at all. You're going to find that out later, 3 hours later. But for 3 hours, you made yourself suffer. For 3 hours, your inner world got weird for no reason at all. And so you start to look at this. You start to deal with this. I have an inner world. It is affected by the outer world. Why? Why do they touch each other? Why are they affected by each other? Why does that even happen? I'd prefer it not to happen. I prefer that if I decide to wake up and be happy, that I get to be happy. And then I go about my business, and if somebody doesn't say hello, I laugh. If somebody outside didn't say hello, what's that got to do with inside? Absolutely nothing. I want it to be nice in here. If I have to live in two worlds, and one of them can be a problem sometimes, why do I want there to be two problems? That's how I talk to myself. It doesn't matter what happened outside. I still have my inner world. If my house is on fire, I have a major problem outside. I want to be calm, collected. How often does your house catch fire? The fire department's going to come. You get one, it's very exciting. That's how I want to be inside. I'll still do everything to try and fix it and stop it, but why shouldn't I enjoy the experience? I'm going to have the experience anyways. It is your world. If you want to have two problems, you can have two. The outside's not under your control. The house is on fire. Some wiring problem happened because the electrician 30 years ago was mad at his wife and was drunk. I don't know why. But there was some reason that had nothing to do with you. But I'm telling you, what goes on inside your inner world is yours. You can go through every single situation in life pleasantly, enjoyably, balmy, while still doing the best you can to work with it, fix it, do everything you would do if you were neurotic and freaking out, except do it from a place of clarity, from a place of centeredness, from a place of joy, from a place of excitement, from a place of enthusiasm, from a sense of service. How can I be of help? And I'm telling you, you're capable of doing it. It just means you understand that your inner world is independent of your outer world. Well, why doesn't it seem that way? All right? Just take a second, but this is all of psychology. You have to understand why your inner world is the way it is now. You didn't make it that way. It's because you weren't awake and dealing with things from a conscious point of view that this thing called the default behavior took place. That is, outside events took place in the past. When they came in, because they do come in, you're in there. They have to come in through your senses. They have to come in to get to you. They're out here, you're in here. The senses pick them up and send them back to you. So when something happened outside in your past and it came in, it wasn't so pleasant. That happens. Your husband's on fire. That's not so pleasant. Your husband leaves you. That ain't pleasant at all. You get told by a doctor that you're sick. That's not pleasant. There are lots of not pleasant things that can happen. You can get dumped by your girlfriend when you're 12 years old. Oh, my God, formative years. There are things that happen outside that are pleasant when they come in, and there are things that happen outside that are not pleasant when they come in. No big deal. They come in, you experience them, and they pass. So what happens comes, it's not pleasant, but it goes. It's nice, like a bad smell when you drive by a skunk. What do you do when you drive by a skunk? Say, oh my God, stop here, it stinks. No, you just keep driving. You drive by, then it's gone. It's the same thing with these events. They come in, they are not nice vibrations. I'm admitting that to you. I'm giving that to you. I'm not saying that what it means to be psychologically healthy is that every single that comes in is cotton candy. What it means to be psychologically healthy is that your psyche is able to digest what comes in. So if it comes in and it's not pleasant, you experience that, and then you experience the next thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. It's like you turn on a movie and you start watching it a little bit, and it turns out it's not good. It's a horror movie, or it's this, that, not something you like. Right? Change the channel. And when you change the channel and you find what you like, don't keep thinking about the one you didn't like, because then you shouldn't have changed the channel. You kept it going inside of you. I am telling you, the world comes in through your senses, and it is capable of passing through. You experience it, you go through the challenge of experience it, but it passes. Then you experience the next thing and the next thing, and that's what it means to be healthy inside. That is not what you've done, and you know that's not what you've done. What you've done is very, very simple. When it came in and it wasn't pleasant, you did not want to experience it. I don't want it to have happened, even though it did. So I'm telling you what you do. I've watched it very carefully for a very long time. Like a hawk, I watch him. What he does is he uses this power he has in here. I guess it's called will. I don't know what you want to call it. But I feel it. I feel that power. It's almost like hands. And he pushes it away. Doesn't he? I don't want to experience this. This is too painful. This is too uncomfortable. This is not pleasant. So I don't want to experience this. And so it tries to keep it at a distance from it by pushing it away. And you feel as though you're protecting yourself. It's kind of like pushing somebody away or pushing a dog away if it's coming too close and you're scared of it. You're pushing it away. There's no place for it to go. It's on a vector through time and space, and it has to pass through you to continue being done. To become the past, it has to stop being your present. But you won't let it stop being your present. So you are literally, when you use that will inside, there's really energetic stuff going on. You are using your will to stop a vector of energy that is real. A person said something not nice. A person died. Things happen. So now that reality of that vibration came into you, and you are keeping it from passing. So because you kept it from passing, it stays. I'm telling you, of all the things I can teach you, this is the most important thing you will ever learn. And you know what I'm saying is true, because the things you did that with stayed. The things that you pushed away became sensitive soft spots in there, didn't they? They became the things no one's allowed to talk about. So you basically understand, when you push it away, it stays inside, because you didn't let it go. Therefore, it gets built inside of you, and because it's built inside of you, it's actually still there. So now when events happen outside, and they try to come in and pass through you, even fairly normal events, not even traumatic things or anything, all of a sudden they're magnified because they remind you of this thing that you stored inside. You were almost in a car accident once. It was terrible. It skidded around. Oh, you were in a car accident when you were younger. Crashed, this, that, all that kind of stuff. Now every time you hear a horn beep, every time a brake screech, you get all weird. You can't even get your license. You shouldn't be driving. That's because you didn't let it go. You kept it inside of you because you didn't like it. And because you didn't like it, you owned it for the rest of your life. And now the slightest event outside causes your inside to become uncomfortable. Now, I'm just going to stop for a minute. Do you know anything I'm talking about? Come on. You know it. You just never owned it before. No one ever said you did it before. It was sort of like, oh, this is just the way it is. No, it is not the way it is. You did it. If you had let it go when it took place, it wouldn't still be in there. But you didn't let it go. Therefore, it's still in there. And by the way, not only did you not let it go when it took place, so it's still in there, but if something hits it and it comes back up, you push it right back down as fast as you can. You do not want to deal with this, do you? The more of that you have in there, the embarrassing moments, the self-consciousness, just all that junk that you weren't able to handle when it happened is still there. Now the events that happen outside are going to remind you of that. If I have a sensitive spot on my body, anything that touches it hurts. And even the light wind can hurt. It doesn't mean the wind is wrong. It doesn't mean the person who bumped up against me is wrong. It means that by leaving this sensitive spot on my body, I'm in trouble. It is the same thing inside. If you carry this sensitive stuff inside of you, which it is sensitive because you have held this into yourself, now the different events that take place outside hit that stuff. And when they hit that stuff, your inside becomes weird. There. So that's why the inside is a problem. It's also why the inside is so reactive to the outside. Every place you go, everyone you meet, every little thing, it's all jumpy. It all gets weird. It all gets sensitive. It all gets scared. It all gets needy. It all gets oh my God, it's so weird in there. It's like nobody even thinks that it cannot be weird. They just think you get yourself together. Come on. You're supposed to be able to sit on top of all that and hold it together. I don't want you to hold it together. I want it to be beautiful in there. It can be beautiful in there. Since you're the one who did this, you can undo this. So now that you have these sensitive spots, in yoga we call them samskaras, impressions from the past that you did not allow to pass through you. So now you have these sensitive spots inside. Of course the world is going to affect the inside because what you stored is about the outside. All that stuff came from outside. It was about the dinner that didn't work out so good. It was about the clothes that you wore, the people laughed at you in 5th grade. It was about all the stuff that happened outside. So now you've stored some scars, these impressions about the outside inside. So all of a sudden it gets blurry what's outside and inside. Because the minute the outside starts to behave a certain way, it reminds you of what happened before outside. And all of a sudden the outside is happening inside. All of a sudden your boss calls you, her boss calls you, says, I want to see you today. And she gets all excited. Oh my God, he's going to give me that raise. Last time he called me in, he complimented me what I did. He found out about that thing. Oh my God, her boss called her and she's scared to death, right? Sally got fired, George got fired. Oh my God, I don't want to have this discussion. He never calls me in. The same event happened outside. I don't understand. It depends on what you stored in there. All right? So you have these soft spots inside that are about the outside. Therefore, by the time you're done, you don't see the difference in inside and outside. The outside keeps freaking out the inside, and all of a sudden it's just this mush. That's how most people live. Completely confused, completely scared. And because the inside is not comfortable, they try to control the outside. So now the outside causes the inside to be a certain way, but now the inside causes your behavior to be a certain way about the outside. And I'm telling you, by the time it's done, you're completely lost. You just walk around just scared, and you walk around reacting and acting and talking. All right, we need to fix this. This is not healthy. So basically you get to the point where you realize, this is what I've done. I stored this stuff inside, a lot of it, and every time it comes up I push it back. And by the way, when you push it down, it rots down there, just like if you sweep stuff under the rug. And I don't mean vegetarian stuff. It lasts longer, not organic vegetarian stuff, just non-free range chicken stuff, right? And you sweep it under the rug, it rots under there. It may look cleaner, but it's not. And you push that stuff down there, and I'm telling you, it's coming up worse than when you put it down. Have you noticed? All right. So that's why the relationship between the outside and the inside becomes very blurry. It's because you allowed your inside to be built of this suppressed stuff that you kept inside of you that's about the outside's past. So now what's happening now reminds you of that. It brings it up. It's like an ink. To me, I've given you this talk once. To me, the outside world is a giant Rorschach test. It's a giant ink blot test. Whatever happens out there reminds you of whatever you had before. You get to see what's really out there. It's just always you see a girl, there's people get dumped. You see a girl, somebody, I'm interested in. Whatever it is. It's just all your stuff inside gets stimulated because of what you saw outside. You're not dealing with the outside. Very few people ever deal with the outside. They deal with the reaction that the outside caused inside themselves. So they either like something, they don't like. Do you understand? If you like something or don't like something, you're not dealing with the something. You're dealing with your reaction to it. Like and dislike are not qualities of an object. Like and dislike are things you built inside yourself. There's your outside world, inside world. So anytime you're doing something outside because you like it or you don't like it, you're not dealing with the outside. You're dealing with the inside. That's why it gets blurry. You're lost in the Maya, in the illusion. So now in a sense, you're dancing with yourself. She reminded you of your mother, at least the part of your mother that you really liked. And so all of a sudden, every time you see her, you feel attracted to her. And so because you feel attracted to her, you want to spend more time with her. And because you want to spend more time with her, you start talking to her. Oh my God, now the inside and the outside are completely indistinguishable. And your past and present are indistinguishable. You're dealing with her because your mother was 30 years ago. It all gets so mixed up. That's what's going on. All right. What do you do about it? You need to separate these two worlds. I don't care what anybody tells you. You need to separate these two worlds. The inside world is yours. It's your home. It's your palace. It's your temple. It's your house. Make it the way you want it. It's your place of comfort. It's your place of joy. It's your place of exploration. It's your place of, wow, man, it's yours. Don't let it become the storage house of the junk that you couldn't handle from before. And then go out there and try to manipulate the world to match what you need inside. It's not going to work that way, no. So instead you start saying the following. The outside world is a place in and of itself. I don't even have the ability of seeing it the way it really is because I'm pretty weird. And I distort it. I just see it as things that are rejecting me or might hurt me. That's not what the world is. It's not a place that might hurt you. What you did with your inside is why it hurts. Otherwise, it's just exciting. People are different. You get to meet them. It's a whole other world when you don't need anything from it. It's just amazing. It's just, wow, let me meet you. Let me see what's going on. I don't care. If you like me, it's wonderful. If you don't like me, it'd be interesting to see. It's fun. People don't like you. And it doesn't bother you because you don't need anything. So this is what it means to be healthy. So the first thing you do, and let's just get down to work, is you look at the outside world and you say, you are not the solution to my problems. It is not that the outside world is not a certain way that I have these problems. It is because of what I did inside myself that I have these problems. So since my problem is inside of me, my solution is inside of me. So you understand you're not the cause of your outer problem. You're the cause of your inner problem. Your inside can be independent of the outside. So if you're not able to do that, we need to teach you how, and you need to practice doing that. First, we want to set what does the objective look like. I want to be, I'm not saying I'm there, but I want to be to where the outside world is free to do its thing. It's free to rain when it rains. It's free to be sunny when it's sunny. Free to be 106 degrees when it's 106 degrees. My car is free to break down when it breaks down. It's free to run fine when it runs fine. The doctor is free to tell me anything about my health that happens to be the truth. Whatever it is that is free to be. Things are what they are, and I want to be able to handle it. That's my standard I hold myself to. If something exists, I should be okay with it. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just if it exists, there's a pillow sitting over there on top of another pillow. If that's bothering me, there's something wrong with me. Later we can deal with it, but right now, that's what's going on. And these are the people that are here, and that's what the temperature is. I need to be able to be okay with reality. That is a standard I hold myself to. How about you? Do you hold yourself to that standard? It's a very healthy standard. Talking about psychologically healthy. You're supposed to be able to handle reality, aren't you? Can you handle reality? No. Why? Because when reality unfolds, it hits this stuff I stored inside of me, and I get weird. And I don't like being weird, so I don't want reality to be the way it is. Reality should be the way I need it to be so it doesn't bother me. That's a normal human being's way of thinking. You got to change it. 86 that. That's out of the question. Reality has the right to be in my world. So reality is okay. Reality has the right to be. I'm telling you how to do this. I'm laying down the groundwork that will walk you down this path. Your starting position is the reality of the world outside of me has the right to be what it is. And while you're at it, it has the right to have been what it was. Now that one I shouldn't even have to say, because it's already over. But I guarantee you I need to say it, because you ain't over with it. The past can bother your inside, not just the present. You could hear something about what somebody did 30 years ago and get weird inside. I don't understand. What's it got to do with you? It happened 30 years ago, and it's already over, and there's nothing you're ever going to do about it. That doesn't sound very rational, does it? All right, so I'm talking about getting your act together here. And so you start off with, the world has the right to be what it is right now at this moment. Doesn't mean I'm not going to work to change it. I'm just telling you, right now, reality is reality. And the past has the right to have been. The past always has the right to have been. You better give it that, because the past is already over. So you sit there and you say, my inner world should not get sick because of the way the outer world is, because of the reality of the outer world. Right now it does get sick. Right now it's way too sensitive, it's way too freaky, and so on and so forth. But you at least set this standard for yourself. And so now you look to see what goes on when the world unfolds in front of you, and what you're going to see is going to freak you out. It's freaky in there all the time. It just goes from one extreme to the other. It gets freaky, it gets weird, it gets scared, it gets self-conscious, it gets embarrassed, it gets guilty. Oh my God, it's so cute, isn't it? It needs things and it's afraid it won't get them, and if it gets them, it's afraid that it'll leave them. Oh my God, it is so weird in there. Can't even be discussed, can it? And you take a look at it and you say, first step is, I accept the reality of life, and it shouldn't be affecting this in here because I live in here, but it is. Okay, I need to fix that. I need to fix that, just like I need to fix my car. Just like I need to fix the boo-boo on my arm. Just like I need to fix my forehand in tennis. I don't care what it is. There's something that is not working out. I need to fix that. Doesn't mean it gets fixed just because I decided it. None of those other things got fixed just because you decided it. It took some work. And so you start doing the work. What is the work? I am going to learn to be okay inside with things that are unfolding outside. There. You took the pledge. Right? I am going to be okay inside with things that are unfolding outside. But the reality is, I'm not. Okay, I need to work on that. I'm not denying anything. I need to work on that. How do I work on that? By working on it. I've taught you this before. Now we're down to the basics. Something happens outside. Start with tiny little things. You just had your hair done and the wind blew and whatever it is. I don't want to pick on the women. Oh, men have their hair done nowadays too. See, he does. So basically, it just upsets your hairdo, whatever it is, right? Or it's humid out, so you get frizzy. I don't know. Just simple stuff that is out of your control. And there it basically is. And so you don't ask, did it bother me? Of course it bothered you. You saw it bothered you. You started getting embarrassed. You didn't like it. You started complaining about the wind. And whatever it did in there, it got upset, didn't it? It got disturbed. All right. Now you just stop right there. You say, here's an opportunity to better my forehand or play the piano better. I'm going to practice. It's okay with me that the wind blew. That's reality. It's okay with me that you got sensitive and it bothered you inside because the wind blew outside. But I don't want you owning that. It's okay right now, but that's not going to stay that way. I got enough issues going on that I can't handle the wind. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be that way. So you decide, but I'm going to work with this one. How do I work with that one? Oh, there are so many ways. I've been giving you ways lately. What I want you to do is take one look at it and say, not on my watch. Not in my house. That ain't going to go on in my house. I am not going to let the fact that the wind blew across my hair ruin my day. It ain't going to happen. That's all I need to do. I just take one look at it and say, I don't think so. And then you relax and you let it go. And the next thing you know, it's gone. But you have brought it to my attention that it doesn't always work that way. So there may be some steps in between that can be worked with. So for example, this happens, it blows, and you see that you're starting to get sensitive. And you know for whatever reason that this is a very sensitive thing to you. Maybe your boyfriend broke up with you or a girlfriend broke up with you. You looked a mess once. Or who knows? Some scar got left in there. Some impression got left in there. So you're more sensitive than you should be about it. And it doesn't just pass by because you decided, because you're relaxed. But the key is to relax and give it room. Give what room? The disturbance that started for no reason other than the junk you stored inside yourself. You just relax. You relax. And by the way, I should focus on a given point. This junk you stored inside yourself is not necessarily an exact, direct impression from the past. It's way more complicated. As work psychology gets complicated. What you did is you store all these impressions, and nobody said they line up. You had this experience, that experience, this experience. So what you've done is package them all together. You tried to sew them together into a way that they made sense. I'm the kind of person that likes this, but I don't believe in this. I'm telling you, it's all kind of a way that if it all flowed that way, it wouldn't hit too much of your stuff and it would hit the good stuff. I don't know how to explain it. But you're in there building this model of yourself inside. That's your self-concept. You're just pretty weird about what you like and what you don't like and how you act under one circumstance and not another. You don't even know what's going to come up, do you? That's because you've built a very, very complex model. So basically, if an event happens outside, it may just challenge your self-concept. I'm a person who holds myself together. I'm very together, I'm very clean, I'm groomed really well and all this, and the wind blows. You had no experience with the wind before. Nobody broke up with you because your hair was, but that doesn't match your self-concept of a well-groomed person. Or maybe you're very frugal with money. You don't wash your car on days it's going to rain. You don't have your hair done on days where the humidity is over 63%. And then all of a sudden, you found out you didn't read the almanac properly, and you feel like you wasted your money. And that's against your self-concept because Dad was very frugal. All right? So this whole self-concept thing can make us feel weird too. It just didn't fit within my model of who I am. And it can be as simple as dropping ketchup on your trousers or talking to somebody and kind of slurring a word at the end and then being embarrassed. Did they understand you or what do they think? It is weird in there. So now we're going to go back to the wind blew, the hair got a little messed up or whatever it is. What can I do about the fact that it's starting to get weird in here? If it's not going to just pass, as much as possible, you let it pass. But if it's not going to just pass, and you know that, you can do things like one real fun thing, and I do this, if I see that it's a little stronger and I know I need to work in that area, is tell yourself that you love it. Make a toy. You're having fun in there. Right? Oh, I love when that happens. I just love, look at the hair now. It's frizzing out. It's just, oh my God, I love it. It's so unique. It's like goth or something. I don't know. Just you take over your mind. Don't allow these past impressions to take over your mental thought patterns and start building this mess inside, because that's what they'll do. The thoughts will start developing, and the emotions will react to the thoughts, and then it's mommy again and daddy again and ex-husband number 3 and all kinds of stuff will go on in there. It's a war zone. No. Start it right off the bat. Take control. And just start saying, I love this. I just love it. I love when the wind blows my hair like that, right? Oh, God, I used to not like it, but look how much I've grown. I really love it like this. This is great. And wait till you see what happens. Your lower self can't get control of the megaphone. It can't start saying the stupid stuff. Over time, it will be easier to let it pass because you neutralized it. You have the right to do that. Just play. Take control. All I want is that you be the one who's in charge in there. Why? Because it's your house. It's your house. You need to learn to enjoy yourself in there. It's going to be a while before you get all the things out. But before that, you can learn to enjoy the process of purification. I don't want to know that you're purified. I want to know that you enjoy the act of purifying yourself. Then it's over. You're already having fun. Where it used to not be fun, now it's fun. You go out on a date, and you're not sure how you hit it off or what it was like, and you have so much insecurity. Don't do that. Sit there, and before that starts, just say what you want to say in there. Be healthy. Say, I had fun. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. How would I know whether he or she had fun? I did. That's great. You can ask her or him back out? I sure am. Well, what if they say no? That'll be fun. So net result is you are to play with your psyche. You are to make a game out of this. I want you to get to the point where you understand this is a long journey. You've been spending a lot of time storing that stuff in there. It's going to take some time to get it out. But I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy the process. Like if you're going to learn the piano and your parents are making you learn the piano, God, it's a drag. If you decide you want to play the piano, it's just as hard, but it's fun. Oh boy, I gotta practice, because you want to do it. I want you to want to do this. I want you to understand that your inner state is yours. There can be problems going on outside, and you can enjoy them. So if you learn to work with yourself in this way, eventually you will learn to work with the outside world in this way. No matter how big the problem is outside, if you're having fun with it inside, it's fun. It can be an exciting, challenging experience. It's really beautiful what you can do. They talk about it like in sports, where one team ends up really beating another, even in pro sports. You get a 62-3 football game. And what do they say in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter? That's where you see the character of the players. Because that coach will say, you're staying in there, and I want you to score, and I want to see how hard you try when it's 60-3. They expect you to put your entire being, heart and soul, into every single play right to the end. Because that's you in there. I want to see what you're made of. I want to see if you quit. And this is the character that you build inside yourself. It's not about what happens outside. Your inside world is yours. And you can make it beautiful. And you can see those guys at 60-3, they want to put that ball in so they can walk away feeling good about themselves. That's how you got to be. There's nothing that is going to take away my right to have a beautiful inner state. Nothing. Well, if there is nothing, then there is nothing, because you're the boss. You are in charge in there. It is yours. So you start with these little things, and you learn to either neutralize them or let them go, whatever you want to do. Whatever works. So there's these positive things of convincing yourself that you like these situations. Say positive affirmation of yourself. There's mantra. There's relaxation, deep relaxation. That's what they find really works. That's what I've always found worked. You just relax. It's trying to get uptight, and you don't participate. You just relax and lean away. Relax and lean away. I found that over time, what you're really doing is you're keeping your energy open so it has room to pass. And remember, it's you who pushed it away. It's you who pushed it down and held on to it. Do the opposite of that. You know what it feels like to push it away, don't you? Do the opposite. What is the opposite of pushing it away? That's what I want you to do. It's literally, instead of picking your hands up and getting ready and forcefully, put your hands down. I can't put my hands down. Yeah, you can. I understand if somebody throws a punch at you, your hand should naturally go up to go. No one's punching you in there. There's nobody in there but you. There's nothing happening. It's just energy flows. It's just nothing. It can't hurt you. Nothing inside of you can hurt you except that you're afraid of it. Nothing inside of you can hurt you except that when you resist it, you don't give it the room. As I think of it like Lamaze, the birth technique. It's like you're taught to relax and release and give room. That's what it's all about, is creating spaciousness so that things can pass through. It's exactly the same inside. That's why in Lamaze they give you breathing techniques. In yoga we give you breathing techniques. It's all a question of, are you willing to, instead of resist and get tight in the face of something that's not comfortable to you, are you willing instead to breathe and relax and release so that there's room for this to pass through? That's how you do this. Any of these techniques, all of these techniques, this is called working on yourself, working to liberate yourself, working to free yourself. You're not trying to make the outside world not be what it is. You're trying to let your inside world be yours. It's your home. And all of a sudden, little by little, it gets nicer and nicer and less freaky and nicer. And all of a sudden, there's more room and you can do more things. And then at some point, you're going to realize all you've been dealing with so far is the non-negative. All these some scars, all these impressions, they could blow up at any time. And you learn to neutralize, and eventually you learn, I'm strong. You're strong. How strong? As strong as you want to be, not outside. not telling you you can go pick up a mountain. I'm not telling you you can be whatever you want to be. I'm not telling you that. Inside, there's no question about it. You're the only one in there. If you're fighting something, you're fighting yourself. You want to be strong? Be strong. You want to tell yourself you can do it? Tell yourself you can do it. I am strong. These are affirmations. I am strong. You remember Master's Yogananda's affirmation? I am the Prince of Perpetual Peace, playing in a drama of sad and happy dreams on the stage of eternity. That's who you are, if you want to be. I am the Prince of Perpetual Peace, playing in a drama of sad and happy dreams on the stage of eternity. You're sitting on a planet, spinning in the middle of nowhere, and events are unfolding. Some are nice and some are not. But inside, I am the Prince of Perpetual Peace, and I'm enjoying the drama. So you work with yourself till you get that strength. Over time you work. And then what's going to happen is you will rise above these lower energies. You'll find that you're floating above them, that they can't even come close to you anymore. Ramdas once said, I used to be in the water, struggling with the waves. Now it's like I'm standing on a bridge, watching the waves go underneath. That's what it means to maintain your center, to achieve your seat of consciousness. So now you're the center of consciousness, watching the dance of the psyche. You don't ever have to get in there ever again. It cannot pull you into it. And all of a sudden you start feeling joy and love and enthusiasm and excitement, and you get turned on. Why? Because you happen to be a very beautiful being. The psyche's not, but you've now risen above the psyche. And all of a sudden you'll feel a power that you never had before. And then love and joy, and you'll start knowing things for absolutely no reason. You just know things. Because what you had done is you had shut down the intuitive side of your brain. By being so uptight with all this stuff, all of a sudden you're tuning into your creativity and your intuitiveness, and artistic aspects start to come out and all kinds of neat stuff. And then you start to deal with the outside world at a whole nother level. Before, you dealt with the outside world because you couldn't handle your inside. So you tried to make the outside make it easier for you. That's what everything was. Your relationships, your finances, your careers, everything was that. Now you're okay inside. And you look outside and you realize, I got work to do out there. Not trying to make out there make me okay in here. I am okay in here. My work outside is to be of service. Is to help others. Is to do my job. Is to whatever it is. I'm free in here. I don't need the outside to make the inside okay. And the outside can't make the inside not okay. Because I know how to work with this. So you start then coming outside to deal with this tremendous energy you've built inside, to share and serve and raise the things that you're interacting with. And you become a beautiful being. And life becomes a lot of fun. And I'm looking at you and telling you, you'll never have another problem for the rest of your life. Never have another problem for the rest of your life. Not even close. Doesn't mean there aren't things outside that are difficult. It means what's outside that's difficult doesn't cause it to be difficult inside. The inside is filled with joy. It's self-effulgent. It's filled with love. That's the state I want you in. Okay, so I've taught you, I didn't say that the outside cannot be difficult. It can be difficult. People can be weird. People can be ugly. People can be mean. They can. I want you to be okay. People always say to me, but what if my husband's negative? What if I work in a work environment and everybody's negative? Good. Good practice. Like going to tennis every day and having to hit your weakest shot. I want you to be able, it doesn't mean you have to stay in that environment. If opportunities come that open up, don't sit there and say, no, I want to stay in the place that makes me really sick. No. But while this is your life and this is what's going on, and the only reason it would change because you can't handle it, I'd rather have you take on the challenge. Can I handle a negative environment and stay beautiful inside and not carry it home when I go home and not let it bring me down, but use it as a challenge to see that my outside, the whole purpose of this talk was what? Your inside world and your outside world, two totally different things, until you don't let them be. They are different worlds. I want you to make the inside world beautiful, and I want nothing from outside to have the right to take that away. So that's how you start seeing all of life. It's a very beautiful experience if you are willing to work on your inside. Jagrif.